Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, God. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you. And thank you for sharing that um, my work has changed your life. I love hearing that God is using me as a vessel, and my intention to be a vehicle of service is actually happening. So I just want to say, I want to talk today about describing and declaring, okay? Because as human beings, especially speaking English, our language has kind of set us up to fail because when we describe temporary states and temporary experiences, we use the words I am. And I am is an identity statement. Okay. I am is not an experience. However, English forces us to identify with our experiences. So instead of saying, I am experiencing hunger, I am experiencing financial lack right now, I am experiencing sadness, we say, I am sad, I am broke. I am lonely. I am anxious. Okay, so unfortunately, we have been trained through our language to identify with very temporary situations and states of being. Someone says, okay, I thought someone said something else. Hello, 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 everybody. Okay, so as someone, myself, as someone who became a teen mother at 17 years old, I spent years chasing degrees, chasing money, chasing appearances, trying to outrun becoming a statistic, right? I didn't want to become a statistic, the teen mom twice over. I didn't want to become the stereotypical thing that was placed on teen mothers, right? And so I was chasing all of these things to become, to not become identified as this statistic, as this scenario. And when my eldest son's father was murdered back on November 10th, 2006, rest in power, Michael. I something broke open in me. Okay. My whole entire world fell apart, and I started to understand at the tender age of 25 that the things outside of us do not matter. Okay. The degrees don't matter. The money doesn't matter. The labels don't matter. The home doesn't matter. The car doesn't matter. The clothes, all of the external things, they don't really matter. What really matters is being, is existence, is actually existing as a human, as a creation of God on this planet. Okay, that was the beginning, I would say, of my spiritual journey. Actually, no, my spiritual journey began the day I was born. However, that was a day that really, really broke me open. Oh my God, my birthday is November 10th. Happy birthday, early or belated. Yeah, that is a very spiritually significant day for me because that is the day that I recognized and realized the power of my words. And I also recognized and realized how insignificant external markings and trappings of success are, okay? Because no amount of money, no degree, no success can bring a person back once they are gone and passed over from this physical realm. Happy Saturday, Chastity, okay? There were several traumas that I experienced that way in my life. When I was, what was I, 30? Jace was born. I was 32. I experienced a medical trauma. I was turned away. They attempted to discharge me from the hospital when I was 7 centimeters dilated. In active labor, they attempted to give me discharge papers and tell me to go home. I told them absolutely not. That was very traumatic to me. That and I wound up having my son in triage. I did not have him in a birthing room. It was very unsafe. Thank God. Thank you, God, that my son was healthy, that everything was well, and that we did not need the team of people who are supposed to be in the room just in case anything goes wrong. So I'm sharing these things to say that the traumas and the trials and the tribulations and the deep, deep devastation and pain and grief and loss that we experience in life have a purpose. They have a purpose. And from my experience and from my perspective, the purpose of pain is to basically kill the ego. Okay. The point is to kill the ego, to get the ego to understand that we cannot depend on anything external other than the God that lives within us, the divinity that lives within us as the source of our supply. When we rely on other people, relationships, whether they be familial, whether they be friendship, whether they be romantic, whether they be professional, when we rely on money, when we rely on, external markings of success in whatever way those might be, those things are not going to be able to sustain you. Okay? Because one thing about life is that it's always going to change. And so, learning how to actually be honest with ourselves and be authentic about what is it that truly moves me? What is it that truly brings me joy? I know this thing I think it's going to bring me money. Okay, I know this thing is going to bring me some income, some revenue, some clients, whatever it is. But is it truly going to allow me to feel fulfilled? Is it truly going to allow me to feel like I am making an impact in this world in a way that brings me excitement and enthusiasm? Okay. And so I don't walk around telling people about my experiences all day, every day, right? I don't describe myself, I declare myself. And so I think it's very important for us to understand when someone asks us who we are, okay, it's very important to make a declaration about who we are because even though I've experienced loss, I've experienced murder, I've experienced medical trauma, I have experienced betrayal, I have experienced all the things, right? Those are descriptions of things that I have only experienced. Those are not who I am. Who I am is amazing, wonderful, whole, complete, worthy, divine, special, beautiful, hilarious, brilliant, wise, funny, right? Those are things that are describing who I am. What I have experienced, the things that I have gone through, even the good things that I have experienced, right? Even being the top performer in my class, even attending a year of theology school, pursuing my master's in divinity, those are experiences, those are not who I am. All right. And so being very mindful to start paying attention to the words that we use after we say I am. Okay, being mindful to understand that our words are joining with the force of God to create. We are never not creating. So when we take experiences and we use them as declarations, and we say, I am broke, I am depressed, I am anxious, I am this, I am that, and we fill in the blank with negative things, we are adopting an identity that should only be a temporary circumstance. And once we can recognize that, we start being a lot more silent, we stop talking so much, and we start being very careful and mindful with the words that we do use. All right. So the experience that I had with the medical trauma at the hospital, right? That experience led me to start seeking and searching, well, how can I never let this happen again? What type of things can I start incorporating into my life that allow me to never be at the mercy of someone else being in charge of my health? Okay, there were several answers to that question. Long story short, Eastern medicine, Eastern approach to wellness. Okay, not waiting on doctors to tell me what's wrong and what's good and what's this and what's that. Actually taking accountability, taking responsibility for my own health, taking accountability and responsibility for what I'm eating, for how I'm moving my body, for my mindfulness, for my meditation practice, for if I'm going to trust my body to give birth. So I did. My next child was born in the water. That is how I found yoni steaming. Yoni steaming was something that completely changed and transformed my life, and then became something that I started to share with other people, which then became a whole business and a whole brand, which now continues to help women to transform themselves, to heal their wounds, to heal their trauma. Okay. This way of expressing has been in my thoughts this week. You are blessing me right now. Yes, God. I'm so glad. I am so glad because I am here to be a blessing. I am not just here to receive blessings, I am here to be a channel for blessings. I am not just here to receive prosperity, I am here to be a channel for prosperity. I am not just here to receive joy, I am here to be a channel for joy. I am not just here to receive transformation, I am here to be a channel for transformation. When you start to identify as a channel for things instead of looking to be a selfish little receiver only, this is how you begin to open yourself up to the divine substance that is ever present, always available. God's substance is available to us at all times. Our mind limits and restricts God's substance because whatever we say we are, we are. Whatever we say we have access to, we have access to. Whatever we say we don't have access to, we don't have access to. And so we are the operant power. Our mind, our thoughts, our consciousness is the operant power. So it will behoove us to begin to utilize that operant power in an empowering way that is intending to serve others. And in intending to serve others, we are naturally serving ourselves. And so I have an entire community called the Quantum Prayer Circle where we are reprogramming ourselves to align with our divine identity and move away from identifying with our experiences. We have a live call. We go live every single day at noon. There is an investment. It's $44 a month, which is cheaper than one therapy session. And I can guarantee you, you're going to get way better results from reprogramming your mind than you are going to be do from sitting in a chair and talking about all your problems. I promise you that. I can guarantee you that. Okay. I say X is here. How do I prefer to meet it? I'm not sure what that question means, BB Shade. You are so welcome. So I invite you to come join us in the community. We are also doing a 7-day immersion in this process of aligning with our divine identity. And I'm talking about deep, deep programming in one of the most spiritual places on earth in Bali from November is my birthday. From September 15th through the 21st, we will be in Bali doing a identity recalibration retreat. We are having a private villa. Everyone has their own room. We're going to have private chefs. We're going to be doing the water purification. We're going to be in the rice fields. We're going to be doing all the amazing, wonderful things. So feel free to check out all of my offerings over on my link. Scorpio, yes, November Scorpio. However, I am a Sagittarius and my birthday is in, I don't know how you're here, but I'm going to have to let you go, boo boo, because that's not what I'm here to do. Um, my birthday is November 23rd, and I am a Sagittarius. So, yes, sorry, I just accidentally invited someone on my TikTok, and so somebody was like sharing the screen with me on TikTok, and they kindly and politely released themselves. Thank you for doing that. Okay. 1208. Hey, big Sag energy, big Sag energy. Yes, God. I am so grateful to be a Sagittarius, honey. So grateful, baby. Thank you, Lord, for making me a Sag. Oh my goodness, I was just thinking about her and she just texted me. Look at God. So yes, so all the things. So, anyways, back to the topic at hand, which is describing versus declaring and being mindful of what are you constantly declaring, okay? Because when you're describing something, you are also declaring it. Every single word and thought that you are thinking and saying is, in fact, a declaration. Every word and thought that you are saying and thinking is, in fact, a declaration. So it is very important to be intentional about what you are declaring. It is very important to not be focusing on past circumstances and past experiences that you don't want to continue to experience. Because when you focus on those things, when you continually give them life, whatever you are speaking about and thinking about, you are breathing life into it. So when you are breathing, what are you breathing life into every day? What is your mind fixed on? Is your mind fixed on injustice? Or is your mind fixed on divine redemption? Most definitely about to become a member of your community. Yes, God, we would love to have you. Again, we have our live call every day at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. We're about to start in about 7 minutes here. Tomorrow, we are doing a masterclass. Also, let me tell you this before I tell you about the masterclass. Every single day inside of, hey, boo boo, meow. Every single day inside of the Quantum Prayer Circle, in the morning, you are met with a daily affirmative prayer. Okay. And the daily affirmative prayers are just like what you see in my content. A lot of my content has been going viral, my self-concept rampages and my daily prayers. But I am thanking God in advance for allowing God's presence to be known. I am thanking God in advance for the miracles and the blessings that are happening and unfolding in this day. I am thanking God in advance. And so we are really affirming that divine presence that is within us and all around us. So inside of the community, you don't just get a live call every day, you get a daily prayer every single day. You get a weekly self-concept rampage. These things are intended for you to reprogram yourself, to listen to on repeat, okay? I post them in the school community as unlisted YouTube links. So once you hit play, unless you click off of it, it's going to keep playing, keep playing, keep playing, and that's the point. The same way we have been programming ourselves with negative ideas and negative thoughts and negative expectations and negative ruminations about all the pain and trauma we've experienced, in order to shift that, we begin to ruminate over all of the good, all of the miracles, all of the abundance, all of the prosperity, all of the health. Okay, we can speak to our reality. And there is a lag time, there is a gap. However, people inside my community have been experiencing shifts immediately, immediate success, immediate dreams and desires coming true, immediate auditions, immediate all types of things, right? Depending on who you are and what your desires are, you will find that it really doesn't take that long. There is a little bit of a lag time, but the less you are worried about how long it takes, the quicker it happens. Okay, and that's just how energy works. The less that you need something to happen, the less quickly that you need it to happen, the faster it happens. The more that you are needing and having to have it and efforting towards it, it is pushing away from you. So it's kind of counterintuitive, but those are the type of things we discuss in the Quantum Prayer Circle. There is a 7-day identity reset in there to help you kind of get clear about yourself and who it is that you truly are, what it is that you truly desire, separating your true intentions and desires from what you think is expected from you, how you want to appear to other people. Okay. The lag time is so minimal these days. Yes. The light is so present nowadays. Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, 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 yes. And so the key is surrender. The key is to not worry about the who, what, where, when, and why. The key is to say, you know what, God, it's already done. I'm just going to be still and know, and I'm going to operate as such. And that's it, the fucking end. And when you operate as such, the fucking end, and you stop checking and you stop searching and you stop seeking and you stop needing it to happen right away, that is what quickens it. Surrender quickens it. Control is what pushes it away and makes it take long. Okay. So it's very important to make that distinction. But the masterclass tomorrow, we are going to be discussing the moon and the phases of the moon and how the different phases of the moon provide a different energy that we can work with the divine substance, especially as women, but men can do it as well. Men are doing it as well. We're all doing it as well, whether we realize it or not. Okay, and so during different phases of the moon, whether it's waning, waxing, new moon, full moon, there's 8 different phases of the moon. And I'm going to be providing a calendar to everybody to look at the rest of 2026 to really give us a little bit of guidance as to what we should be doing. So we're looking at a 28 to 30 day cycle of goal setting. Okay, and so we're going to be learning how to utilize the phases of the moon cycles to really aid us, because there's sometimes when it's time to jump into action and execute, and there's sometimes where you need to sit your ass down and shut up. Okay, when you plant a seed in the ground, you don't go digging it up every day to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. You know, we all know that there is a divine substance out there that given the right conditions, this seed is going to do all its processes that it needs to do, and then it's going to start to produce fruit, right? We all know that. There's no difference from that and our ideas as human beings. And this is why it's so important to understand that our thoughts and our words, which are just thoughts verbalized, okay, words and thoughts are the same things. Yeah, somebody just joined the Quantum Prayer Circle. I hope you join us on this call. All the calls that we have are over on the calendar tab. So be sure to get the Zoom link over on the calendar tab. But our thoughts, right, just like a seed that goes into the earth, our thoughts, when given the right condition, and the right condition is stop listening to trash TV, stop hanging around trash people, stop listening to trash conversations, stop gossiping, stop complaining. The right condition is gratitude. God, thank you in advance. I am so grateful and happy that I'm alive today. I'm so grateful and happy I woke up today. I'm so grateful and happy the sun is shining, God. I'm so grateful and happy that I can see, hear, and walk and talk, God. Okay? Those are the right conditions. So when we plant a seed and we give it the right conditions and we weed out, we take the weeds out, right? We get the trash out. We get the doom scrolling out. We get the mindless eating out. We get the addiction to substances out, right? We start taking those weeds out. We provide the right conditions. We know and can trust that we are going to see fruit from that seed coming out. Okay? So this is what we are doing inside the Quantum Prayer Circle, y'all. All right. I have to jump in just a moment because I want to be on time for my members. And we have an amazing time. We really focusing on our gratitude every single day. And we also share. We are a community. It is growing by the day. It is becoming more and more beautiful by the day. I am so happy and grateful that God is, and humbled and honored that God is using me as a vessel to be able to facilitate this space. I am also looking into holding a physical space. I think I'm going to start doing a version of the Quantum Prayer Circle in person in the Raleigh Durham area. So stay tuned for that. Jumping on my call right now. I hope everyone has a fantastic, amazing, beautiful, incredible, phenomenal, blessed, prosperous rest of your Saturday. Okay? All right, y'all. Yes, God. I will see you on the flip side.